Hey, Bobby Manning here. Welcome to a news edition of the Garden Report on site. Just about an hour ago, some news, rumors from Twitter's Jake Fischer, Twitter's Jake Fischer, Yahoo's Jake Fischer, a good friend of the network, reporting that the Celtics stay interested in a big man. Just under 24 hours from the trade deadline, they've been in touch with the Spurs on Jakob Poetl, a name we've discussed since October, I believe, November at least, on this program, as well as Mo Bamba of the Magic. We'll get to him in a second, but the continued interest in Poeltl, according to reports, interesting given the Celtics front court situation right now. Luke Kornet probable to return tonight. He's working out just behind me after missing the last game with an ankle sprain. A devastating blow to the team, but underscoring that they're one injury away from being pretty thin in that front court. Now, Poeltl, $9 million salary, big payday coming this offseason. Reports indicating he wants as much as $20 million a year. Beyond the cost you would have to give up for him. Those are the cons, along with a potential limited amount of minutes that you could provide to him right now. Many pros, though, and I've long been in favor of making a move like this, despite indications from the Celtics that this isn't as much of a thought as it was earlier in the season. I do think they checked in on Poeltl when Robert Williams was injured, when Luke Kornet got hurt in camp, and then they ultimately signed Blake Griffin. The pros can step right in case of injury, Robert Williams or whoever else in the front court. Can pair in double big combinations with Horford at least. Probably not Robert Williams, but you could throw him out there in his own lineups in the second unit and keep Rob and Al together for extended stretches. We know they love that lineup. We know the numbers are dominant. So that's a big plus there. And then, of course, some leverage against Grant Williams, whose name continues to fit into reports and rumors and interest from other teams. Just under 24 hours from the deadline here. I do not expect him to move. I've heard nothing about their willingness to part ways from him, especially in the case of a sale. I think something really good would have to be coming back, and I just don't see it. P.J. Washington, Mo Bamba, all these different names you can throw around. Nerlens Noel, a couple days ago, James Edwards reporting indicate interest in him. I don't see any of those guys being potential replacements for Grant that you love, especially when you think you could keep him for 10 to 13 million annually. There was a fear early this season that he could make 18, 20 million. I've heard cap it out at 15, and I think the Celtics are going to be able to do it. And I think that's where his market falls right now. So you take this to the offseason. I think you keep as much talent in place as you can, and maybe add to it in the case of a Gallinari. Fischer, in the case of a Poeltl, Gallinari, Pritchard, the rumored matching salary in a deal like this, according to Fischer. We spoke to Gallinari yesterday. You can check that out on the channel about his thoughts heading into the deadline. Obviously an uncertain time for him. And Payton Pritchard spoke again to the Globe today, indicating his desire to play more and show his skills early in his career. So it wouldn't be stunning to see him moved, despite his usefulness in this backcourt. We'll have more reports here from Celtics 76ers. Of course, brought to you by HelloFresh, HelloFresh.com/Garden65. Get you 65% off your first order, as well as free shipping when you head over there. And Athletic Greens, athleticgreens.com/Garden gets you 5 free travel packs of their vitamins, minerals, adaptogens, probiotics, and more. Plus a year's supply of vitamin D when you head to athleticgreens.com/Garden. Celtics reportedly interested in Poeltl. Mo Bamba, that one makes less sense to me. $10 million, 2 years, hasn't played a ton with the Magic and still hasn't showed much in his career, but is it a second draft guy? Is it low cost? Is it just Gallinari and Pritchard and maybe a second? I guess I could be talked into buying all on him, but I don't think it helps you a ton, and I think there's potential for him to not be thrilled with low minutes here either, though. Big prospect entering that draft. You wonder how much the Celtics liked him. From TD Garden, pregame coming up shortly. Joe Mazzulla, Doc Rivers, CLNS Media. Subscribe there for those interviews, as well as tonight's coverage here on Celtics All Access. Celtics 76ers postgame coming up right after the game.